FORA.tv. The world is thinking.
First of all, to be clear, doping, if you're accused of doping, you're accused of cheating. That's assuming you have rules and you have a defined set of substances which are banned, or limits on those substances as to how much you can use. Then if you're accused of crossing the line, then you're accused of cheating. If in the event that that happens, you have agencies who deal with it and they're held to the same standard, then you have respect from both sides. You have racers and athletes who respect the people doing the testing and believe that they're doing the right thing and have the right intentions. And on the other side, you have agencies who are trying to control it, but also respect the sport and what it stands for. Right now, we have none of that. My solution and my idea of how to solve it begins with the agencies who are enforcing the rules being held to the highest standards. Right now, they are not. I am asked every day to comment on what I believe the problem is with the athletes and what I believe the percentage of athletes is that dope. And at this point, having been through what I've been through, I don't care anymore. All I care about is the agencies that are enforcing ethics are held to the same standard of perfection to which they hold the athletes. Right now, if an athlete is confused, or if an athlete is accused of doping and provided some evidence against them, they're expected to explain what happened. Regardless if it's a mistake in the lab, regardless of what it is, they're expected to explain what caused that event. And the agencies themselves are not held to any kind of standard at all. And this level of perfection, this level of, what do they call it? I can't even remember at this point. This whole thing is confusion to me. The athletes themselves are basically given the same suspension or penalty regardless of the offense and regardless of the evidence against them, assuming they can't demonstrate that they didn't do it. Now, it's an impossibility to prove that you didn't do something. I don't know that most people have ever been in a position where they've had to think this through. Let's say in my case, for example, I was accused of taking testosterone. 2 months ago, we had this hearing. We proved beyond any shadow of a doubt for anybody who understands this test that that test is wrong. That doesn't prove that I didn't take testosterone. All it does is prove that the test is wrong. So if that's the standard that athletes are held to, then athletes are never going to respect the agencies who deal with this. So if you ask me what the solution is, the solution begins at the top. If the athletes don't respect the agencies enforcing the rules, then it's never going to get solved.
Is that abroad or just domestically as well, or both?
That's everywhere. Let me compare it to the way things work in a civilization. This is not what we have here. Criminals are well, we have a law enforcement agency in this country. They try to stop criminals. If the law enforcement agency is allowed to fabricate things and basically just accuse anyone of anything, the next thing you know, the entire civilization is going to disrespect and disregard anything that the law enforcement agency says, and then you don't have any rules. We have in this country an innocent until proven guilty standard. What that comes from, on a very basic level, is the fact that the law enforcement agencies and the government is held to a higher standard than the people are. If they can't prove that you did it, then you're innocent. And unfortunately, in that situation, a lot of criminals go free and a lot of guilty people go free, but it holds them to a higher standard, and then the people respect them. And if you don't do it that way, it doesn't work, and that's what we got in cycling right now. The agencies enforcing the rules have no respect whatsoever from the athletes, and that's not going to work.